Is this your life trapped in a hamster wheel, spinning faster and faster and faster, but never getting anywhere at all? Work bleeds into every corner of your life, sucking the joy out. Of course, everything but that to-do list. You barely recognize who you are as a result of being so exhausted, foggy, indecisive, starting to have memory problems. And when you look in the mirror and the mirror looks back at you, you are sleep deprived, you are anxious, you're somewhat depressed, you are resentful, and worst of all, you're burnt to a crisp, flaming on both ends, running here and there just to meet your deadlines and your to-dos. A neglected partner, a missed soccer game for your child, an elaborate dinner party to celebrate someone's anniversary, and a fading passion to live the life of your dreams are the expense that is costing you by being constantly on the go. Yes, I know that you're a go-getter. I know that you're a high achiever, and you are making headway in corporate and in the business arena. But what happens when the doors close, or what happens when you finally decide to leave the office? So what happens when you recognize that you are stressed, but yet you have no idea how stressed you are? The next thing happens that your physical body began to integrate or have conversations with your brain, your mental, right? Your psychological. And it is asking for help because it's too strained. And then the position of your physical body began to assist the brain to unload. And then therefore you'll start seeing physical signs like your neck is hurting, your shoulders are hurting, your back starts to hurt. You're more lethargic than you normally are, and just so much more. You can adapt headaches, you can adapt your blood pressure goes higher. I mean, the list can go on and on. So when you're talking about operating from a life of work without taking care of yourself, that is the downfall of being a go-getter. Believe me, I know. I'll tell you my story later. The cost of hustle is expensive. It is heavy. And if you do not get a hold of the warning signs that your body is sharing with you, the relationship signs that your partner, your friends, your parents, your loved ones are sharing with you, then it's going to be so difficult to maintain these relationships in the healthy realm, because there's going to be some disconnect as a result of feeling abandoned. Do you remember what it feels like to just breathe? And when you come down from exhaling, you have a smile on your face. Most often when we are mentally exhausted, when we're dealing with burnout, or we are beyond the stress measure, meaning we've been in stress so long that we've adapted to it and we've prolonged the stress, that is going to cause a difficult shifting if you do not take action. What about, do you remember sitting down, just sitting down, relaxing without feeling guilty? I could be doing this. I could be doing that. I could be working on this and that. When was the last time that occurred? Man, or just to laugh out loud. Stress in itself takes your creativity away. It takes your excitement and your laughter. And before you know it, it just seems like it takes so much for you to just laugh. I mean, literally, this was my circumstance. I was literally in a comedy show, or act rather, and he seemed so not funny. But everywhere I turned around in the room, laughter shattered the atmosphere. What was going on? Stress, prolonged stress, prolonged stress, year after year, prolonged stress. And it was taking my joy. It was taking my true aliveness. And I started to take things for granted. But I'm going to share some news with you. Enough is enough. This is not living. It is not even thriving temporarily. You're just stuck in survival mode. You're stuck in the adaptive mode of stress. No wonder you're having difficulties within your relationships at work and at home, or you feel like you don't want to be bothered. You're irritable. You isolate. You're having challenges sleeping. Your eyes are wide awake in the middle of the night while you should be in your REM sleep. You must sit down and ask yourself, seriously, honestly, is this worth it? But I've got to share some good news. There is some revolutionary things that are coming around the corner. I am putting things in motion, in play, to help high achieving women to conquer burnout, to bust through and ditch overwhelm and stress, and lean towards understanding, consciousness, and awareness within themselves in order to self-regulate, in order to dominate the prioritizing of self-care. You know, one of my mottos includes that self-care is soul care. Oh, what are you talking about? Soul care is the ability to wrap your arms subconsciously and consciously around what your needs are so that you can meet your needs. Because what I've learned as a medical provider myself, the constant pouring out to others, but yet not receiving anything back, leaves me blank. It leaves me without. It leaves me in a deficit. What about you? You may not be a medical provider, but you're a go-getter and you're a high earner. That is who I'm talking to. And you're a high achiever. And you have to communicate effectively as a leader. But what's happening when there is no more thrill, no more life in you, and you are just operating on autopilot like a robot? Get up this time, do this time, leave the house this time, go to Starbucks that time, go to work this time, look at your to-do list, only to find that you get 2 or 3 items done a day? No more. I've developed a time mastery system that I'm going to be sharing with you, because I am rebelling against the concept of corporate and business world and their mantras that professional women are weak if they need breaks. They are not able to handle what comes down the pipe if they decide to take off. Oh, it is a revolution brewing right about now. There's going to be a tyranny. There's going to be a cutting of inefficient to-dos. So are you ready to join the revolution? Imagine waking up peaceful mornings, able to articulate what you need with healthy resolve and communication, being assertive and setting boundaries and understanding what your soul needs because you're able to hear it and listen. You know those days that you're at your desk and you feel a little faint, a little tired. You're sighing silently, but constantly. That's your body saying, get up, I need a break. I'm going to be teaching you that understanding, because Self-care is soul care. I want you to wake up every day excited about your loved ones, excited about your work, excited about where you're going. Listen, pre-register for the membership so that I can teach you in the group coaching membership format. Hit the link